Hey there, Taurus. Welcome to your reading for the week of September 27th. This week, we are going to jump right in here, Taurus, and we are just going to take a look at what is going on for you. I love this card, really good card. It is the Turkey Spirit. It says give with gratitude and grace, but the Turkey Spirit is also a card of abundance, just like the Empress right here. So clearly, very abundant reading for you. I like to see that. It could be like a little bit of a healing reading as well. There seems to be like some healing energy going on here. And 2 aces, 3 aces. I spoke too soon. I like it, Taurus. Let's see where this is going. You start off with the Turkey Spirit. Again, this card says give with gratitude and grace. It's just a card of abundance and more abundance coming in for you. We see that here as well with the Empress. Both cards represent a strong connection to nature as well. The Empress is kind of like has a very strong connection to nature and being out in nature. So, you know, for some of you, might be a good thing to do, go for walks, things like that. In nature might lead to a lot of abundance. Also, we're entering into the fall time, and this card represents the fall. So, you know, perfectly represents this time that we are in. You have the Three of Wands, the Empress, and the Knight of Swords. I'm getting the words, I almost can't believe it, popping into my head. I feel like you are saying these words, Taurus. So for a lot of you, there could be like more abundance coming in for you, and I feel like it's something that you almost can't believe with this energy. What I would say here is that I feel it's because, you know, things are kind of working. Something you've been waiting for is coming in for you here with the Three of Wands. Three of Wands, like waiting for your ships to come in. But, you know, sometimes I feel that Three of Wands can represent waiting for the perfect moment when there never will be a perfect moment to do something. But I feel pretty good about this actually for you, this card. And I kind of feel like things are more going your way with that energy, with the Three of Wands energy. The Empress here, I do feel there is a harvest coming in for you as well. I'm seeing this more as an accomplishment. She does have 2 crowns on her head. One is the stars, right? The 12 stars of the zodiac. The other one is a wreath. And the wreath is tied to the World card, which can represent some sort of accomplishment. So I feel for some of you, there's an accomplishment coming in for you here. You do have this Knight of Swords here. Knight of Swords to me can represent, you know, kind of like hasty energy, but I just feel like it's asking you to be direct. I feel like it's asking you to ask for something, for like what you want. And who are you asking? I feel like you are asking the universe. So I feel like it's time for you to just like speak up and, you know, speak into the universe the things that you want to manifest and, you know, create, or the things that you want to experience in your life. I feel like it would be a good time for you to do that with this energy here for sure. Let's clarify this. I feel like you're very attractive at this time as well. So if you're looking for love, I do feel like there is definitely love coming in for you here. So I like to see that. With the Three of Wands, you have the Three of Pentacles here. I feel like you're building something up. Three of Pentacles is good here, but it's like there could be more here, Taurus, as well. Sorry about that, Taurus. Second time that my camera has cut out now this week. Mercury retrograde, right? But anyway, we were talking about the Three of Pentacles. I feel like you're building something up here with the Three of Pentacles, and you know, if it has that building energy. I also feel like this is saying that I feel more future potential here. Three of Pentacles is, you know, the way that I think of this is if you're working on a business or a project or even a relationship, it's like, to me, the Three of Pentacles can say you're just scratching the surface. There's more that can come from a situation. So just definitely something to recognize, because it can allow you to get more out of a situation, right? Let's see here, Taurus, with the Empress, you have the Four of Wands, marriage. Some of you have clearly been waiting for love to show up here. I would say that I feel like there's a very mature, you know, kind of more driven, more straightforward person coming in for you with the King of Swords here. I would say King of Swords doesn't have to be someone that's older than you or anything like that. Could be the same age. But to me, it could be younger. King of Swords is just someone who carries themselves in a very mature way. So if you're looking for love, I definitely feel like there could be love coming in for you. And the Four of Wands can represent marriage, but it's also a card of freedom. With the Knight of Swords, you have the Star. So definitely, like I was saying, healing energy is what I was getting here at the beginning of the reading. So I feel like a lot of you could be healing or going through a healing at this time with the Star card. I feel like you could be making a lot of improvements as well. I always get this like fluff energy for you here, Taurus. And did I say Virgo? I'm sorry. But anyway, Taurus, I always get this like fluff energy for you where it's like I feel like you feel there are extra steps. I would just be careful of overcomplicating things as here. With that star card, I would take like a good look at like why you do things in relationships, for example. So if you're getting into a relationship or looking for love, there might be certain things that you're doing that you do to kind of protect yourself, right? There might be certain things that you do to prevent the relationship from ending without even realizing that you're doing it. We all do this, right, Taurus? But what I would say is, like, I would be careful of doing those things. So what am I talking about? Well, it's like sometimes I think we get into a relationship and maybe we don't tell the person our desires up front, or we don't tell the person exactly what we want up front because we don't want to lose something that we never had in the first place. But, it's like we don't want to lose it. So I feel like this is saying be careful of doing those things. I also feel like sometimes we do other things where it's like maybe we pretend like we like something the other person likes even though we don't, and that just leads to a whole entire disaster. So I feel like it's kind of asking you to be I feel like the star in that Knight of Swords is asking you to be straightforward with your desires of like what you desire out of a situation. I feel like you're actually going to find that the person likes you more because of this is what I would say. So I like it. Next, you have the Solitude card. Obviously with the star card and the Solitude card, it would be a good time to maybe have some solitude, to have some time for yourself, to do some things that you enjoy doing on your own. So I feel like alone time would be very important for you at this time with this Solitude card. I feel like this is more like, especially if you are needing like thinking time as well, very mental energy in actually like this from the Knight of Swords over, very mental energy. So you might need some time alone just so you can have some like mental space. You have the Three of Swords, the Page of Wands, and the Ace of Swords. Definitely a victory coming in for you with the Ace of Swords. So I do feel like there's some sort of win or victory coming in with this Ace of Swords energy. Very inspirational energy right here. Ace of Swords and Ace of Wands, that combination to me can represent inspiration, you coming up with some sort of idea, or you starting something that is inspirational. So if you're working on anything inspirational, then I feel that would be amazing. I also have a book popping into my head as well, Taurus, and it's I can't remember the name of it. It's by Wallace D. Wattles, and it's I think it's called The Science of Getting Rich, if I'm not mistaken, Taurus, but I can't really remember. It's something like that. And in the book, he basically says that you should be giving off an energy of increase to everyone around you, right? And this is not just for money. This is for all types of energy that you could potentially desire. So he says that if you're coming from a place of increase, always increasing love, always increasing abundance, happiness, joy, all those other things, that you're just going to get more of that back, and you're going to create more for the world as well. So I feel for a lot of you that this reading is asking you to think about increase. That's what I'm getting right here between these two aces. And I feel that you could be kind of learning how to come from a place like that where, you're kind of increasing things for everybody. You have the Page of Wands. Definitely going to be an adventure. Definitely something you're going to have to kind of like think about. I also do feel this could be love coming in for you here. This is where I was getting protection, was on this Three of Swords. So again, I feel like this energy of you trying to protect yourself, totally understand not wanting to get hurt and all that other stuff, Taurus. But again, we have to open up to the potential of getting hurt to have love in the first place. And what I would say here is I would open up. I feel like this person is like a safe person to be with. Could be a fire sign. Could be any sign coming in for you. You get fire all the time. And so that doesn't really surprise me. But, what I would say here is I do feel like it could be a fire sign. Could be any sign, like I said, coming in for you. I feel like it's someone who wants to go on adventures and things like that. Let's see. Where is this going here, Taurus? Let's see. With the Three of Swords here, you have the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, very independent energy. Good card. I love the Nine of Pentacles. To me, she is pre-Empress energy, although you have the Empress right here. But to me, it can be, she's independent. She's doing things on her own. But she is also single. She's alone. So I feel for some of you, it's asking you to maybe open up. Really good energy for money, anything that you're creating. This whole entire reading, I feel like, is very good for just abundance in general. And that's how I would be thinking here with this right here. I'm actually working on another project. And I'm going to be putting out on my other channel where I'm going to be talking all about like how to change your thoughts to be more abundant. And I am getting, like, one thing is popping into my head. I'm actually going to write it down after I do this because it's something that I've wanted to talk about, which is, it's like she has a lot of resources, but it's like if there's something you want to purchase in your life, I feel like you need to kind of change something about the way that you speak about it. I don't know why this is popping into my head, but I feel like it'll be like an important milestone for you, Taurus. Like maybe there's like a car that you want, or maybe there's something else that you consider to be expensive that you want to purchase. And I feel like you need to say to yourself, how can I get that? Not, I will never have that. Not, it's going to be impossible for me to get that. I feel like you need to start asking, how can I get that with this energy? Definitely a great way to attract more money, by the way, is asking, instead of saying like, oh, that's expensive, saying, well, how can I afford that? Because then you're telling the universe like, hey, universe, bring me ways that I can afford that. And that's what I feel like there's something changing inside of you. Like it could be literally the way that you look at money for a lot of you, because there are a lot of money cards here, which I think is a great thing, especially if you're increasing abundance, because then you can increase abundance for other people. And this is going to be a good thing for you. But it could be anything else. It's like there might be a certain relationship, or maybe you want a certain type of relationship. Instead of thinking, oh, everybody's a liar, cheater, stealer, or whatever it is that you think, I feel like you need to start saying, how can I get a person who is not like that? With the Page of Wands here, you have the Six of Cups. Really nice. This is like some sort of turnaround coming in for you here, Taurus. There's an energy that is lifting with that Six of Cups. Every once in a while, I feel that the Six of Cups is just a gift from the universe. The Six of Cups, and the gift that we receive is obstacles being removed from our path. So it's like if we've been trying to build a business and it's been failing, the Six of Cups comes in and it like removes the obstacles so we can be successful. It doesn't mean it's not going to require work. It's still going to require work, but it is a card of success in that sense. So I do feel like there's like a gift from the universe coming in for you. For others, could be a soulmate coming in for you as well. With the Ace of Swords here, you have the Page of Swords. I'd be careful of this right here, thinking too much about the past. The Page of Swords is facing the past. The Knight of Swords going into the past, this direction. You're like the second or third sign this week that has been about like really focusing more present on the present, or even a little bit into the future, is what I would do here. It makes sense. We have Mercury retrograde starts this week on the 27th, so it makes sense that we could be thinking about the past here. What I would say is, if you're thinking about the past, then I would say focus on healing it with the star. He is focusing towards the star here, and I think one of my bugaboos with the spiritual community is like there are certain rules that I think are in place that are like actually toxic in the first place. Or it's like one thing I think is toxic about the spiritual community is like there are people who are like, oh my God, like they treat thinking about the past as like a like a cardinal sin or whatever, and it's like they're just turning it into another religion. And so what I would say here is, like, if you think about the past, we all do it, right? So nobody's perfect. But if you think about the past, I would at least make it constructive, and I would, like, heal. I would try to do something to correct it, whatever you want to do. Next, you have this community card here. I like this for you. Number one, I feel like community, working on a team, teamwork, all those things would be very important for you with this card. I also think that this is talking about love. I know. I feel like if you're looking for love, there could be great opportunities in socializing. So I would get out there. I would socialize. Even if you can't get out there, what I would say is online socializing. Anything you can do to be more social would be a good idea for you. You have the King of Swords, the Ace of Wands, the Ace of Wands, and the Ace of Cups here. So what I'd say here is I feel like there's something very passionate coming in for you. Definitely could be a love offer coming in for you with the Ace of Cups. I feel like it's someone, what I would say too is like this person will bring you peace. I feel like this person, it's like I don't think they're, making you more peaceful, but I think that just having them in your life is going to bring more peace into your life. It's going to bring more happiness and just like a general easier kind of like flow is what I get off of this card. So I feel like there is a sense of like peace and just relaxing energy coming off of this as well. I really like this for you, Taurus. I feel like I've been saying Virgo this whole entire time. If I have been, I'm sorry. I don't know what's wrong with me. But anyway, Taurus, I feel very good about this King of Swords, especially if it's love coming in for you. For others, sometimes I see the King of Swords as just being able to use your wisdom. King of Swords to me can just represent a certain amount of wisdom that you have. It can say maybe you've gone to school, maybe you've just gone through some sort of training and you've become like an expert or someone who knows a lot about something. It's like the Ace of Wands with the Ace of Cups would be you using that knowledge. I kind of like readings like this with this right here because it can be one of those things where this can be a clue to me that maybe you've gone to school, maybe you have certain training and you haven't been able to use it. This to me is like saying now you're finally able to use your knowledge. Now you're finally able to use like what you're good at or what, whatever you want to call it. Let's dig into this here, Taurus, and see. With the King of Swords, you have the Hermit here. That's probably why I've been saying Virgo this entire time. Some of you could be dealing with a Virgo. Wouldn't really surprise me, obviously. For others, the thing that I always find interesting here is when this happens. You have the Star and the Hermit. The Hermit is holding the Star inside of his lantern, and the lantern is kind of containing the Star. To me, it can say there is something inside of you that needs to come out. The Hermit is like going through a dark night of the soul, or doing some soul searching. He's the card of introspection. He's looking for his inner light. But it's like once you found it, now it's time to let it out. I always tell people, it's like my channel, I am like convinced that my channel really blew up once I started just speaking about my channel more freely in my personal life. It's not that I used to hide it from people, but I wouldn't really be like, oh, I'm a tarot reader, like I wouldn't be out there blasting it all over the place. But it's like eventually I just stopped caring and I started telling people what I do, and then it's like I became that thing. That's what I see you doing right here, is it's like if you're not speaking something out into the world, it's like you are not that thing until you do it, right? So what the hell does that mean? Well, maybe you want to be a tarot reader on YouTube. Start saying it. Maybe you want to be a doctor, a lawyer. Start saying that is what you are. And I mean, as stupid as it sounds, I literally feel like that's what that is saying, is you just need to say things and speak them into existence. They need to come out. The King of Swords is reminding you that you're worthy. The King of Swords is like, says you have more than enough knowledge, so don't sell yourself short. With the Ace of Wands here, you have the Three of Swords again. I don't know if did I talk about the Three of Swords here? I don't remember. But what I'd say here is I feel like a lot of you are healing. I'm taking the Three of Swords energy as more of a healing energy in your reading. It's like, and for some of you, it could be like this forgiveness energy as well. I would definitely be careful of kind of like holding on to grudges, especially the Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands could be holding on to a false start from the past. You had a false start with a person. It didn't get anywhere. Three of Swords can be holding on to the anger, so I would make sure to forgive and release. But for the most part, I'm really seeing this as forgiveness, or like moving past it. With the Ace of Cups, you have the Nine of Cups, a wish. Definitely wish fulfillment coming in for you this week. A lot of happiness, I feel like there's a lot to be grateful for. Really, like the most important thing I feel for you this week is to start asking how. Like, how can I get this? How can I have that? And not doubting it, right? Don't put the doubts in there, and have fun with it as well. It's like maybe you could say to yourself, how can I have $10 billion, right? Will you ever have $10 billion? Maybe not, but maybe. And maybe by asking for 10, you'll get 1. So it's like that's better than nothing, right? But I feel like you need to start asking how. I would also let something, like I would start speaking something into existence. But we're going to pull 3 yes or no question cards here, Taurus, and we're going to see what comes up for you. So if you don't have any questions, that's fine. I'm going to put all 3 cards together at the end, but we're going to do 1, 2, and 3. So Taurus, for card number 1, you have the Eight of Pentacles. Yes, definitely. I love the Eight of Pentacles. To me, it's a card of results, and it's a card of success. So yes. For card number 2, I would say yes, but I'd get moving with the Three of Wands. Three of Wands can definitely be a yes, but it can kind of like say, hey, it's time to, get moving forward here. It's time to start making some progress. So if you're like working on any projects or businesses or anything like that, I would kind of like get it moving. I would be careful, like what the words that I'm getting here on the Three of Wands are like, I would be careful of staying stuck in like a certain place. And what I mean by that is like if you're working on a project, it's like sometimes I think we can get it to a certain level and then we don't continue to grow the business, or we don't continue to grow the project. So I'd make sure you're continuing to grow things. And for card number 3, I would say no, 5 of Swords. So I would say no with this energy. For a lot of you, I feel like putting it all together, I feel like you're kind of, if this is for you, I feel like some of you could be walking away from something here. I feel like you're just at this place of like really focusing on yourself, which we kind of see here. Solitude, the Star card, it's like a very self-focused type of energy in a good way. I would say that this is a positive, not a negative here, Taurus. So I feel like focusing on yourself, focusing on your glow up here with the Empress is perfectly acceptable. So love it. This looks good to me, Taurus. I really like it. So thank you for being here, Taurus. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.